At Hermanus High School, we do find it's quite a challenge, the diverse groups that sit in our class. When I talk about diverse, I'm not talking about color. I'm talking about ability. We have in our classes high achievers, pupils who really do shoot the lights out. They get 90% and so on. And in that same class from different primary schools, because our school, we have different feeder primary schools, we do get kids who struggle. And then in the same class, you sit with 90%ers versus 20 to 30%ers.
We've been saying we need more schools for quite a while, and I thought, what about a more realistic approach? What about equipping the schools we already have? Because we have so many schools that really aren't functioning at the best of their abilities. So to properly equip and empower the schools we already have, I think should be a main priority, so that learners don't flood well-established academic institutions and overwhelm these institutions, but that we can, spread our learners equally across all our schools in South Africa. So if I was the president and I had the opportunity to make a difference in our education system, I would focus largely on increased financial investment and continual financial investment in our schools. We are living in an ever-changing world, and our education system needs to keep up. It needs to evolve as our world evolves. So if we are to equip our learners for the modern world, we cannot do so with outdated resources and outdated approaches to education. We need to focus on skill development regarding technology, implementing technology, and focus more on a skill-orientated assessment rather than just knowledge retention.
Some schools get 100% funding from the Department of Education, which your quintile 1, quintile 2, quintile 3 schools. We are quintile 5 school. So the funding that we get from the department is very limited, which means we've got to charge school fees, and therein lies the challenge. We're charging us, you sit and you put the budget together for the year, you estimate kind of what your expenses are going to be, and therefore do the calculation, boom, there's your school fees. I would say about 50% at our school are not paying their school fees. That can be split up into about 30%, which will be bad debt. That just means those parents, they probably can, but they just don't. And then about 20 to 25% is exemptions. Those are the parents who really just don't have enough money. They don't earn enough, and then the Department of Education gives them permission not to pay school fees.
So I think if I was Mr. Ramaphosa, I would say that he must focus on the quality of education. And with that, I mean that we might have to incorporate smaller classes where you can have a more personal level and connection with the children. And I think when you get to know them on that personal level, you know where they come from and their backgrounds, then you will be able to know what to expect from them based on their backgrounds and so on. So I think if he can maybe stop maybe not giving an umbrella term, and not applying something from up there, just maybe focusing on more specific people, zooming in on people, then I think that will be very effective.
State of the Nation address. South Africa, the southern tip of Africa, we actually produce such quality individuals in various fields, but it all starts in the schools. If you don't focus on the education in terms of prioritizing it, putting all your resources there, making sure that your education system is doing well, and whatever the shortfalls are, whatever the needs are in the education system, that is prioritized. that it really is the first and foremost what we focus on. Because if we have flourishing schools, it takes care of so many other issues.